I love it when my PC does that. One more try here. Hey, there it is. Let's see if I can reload this. Okay, we're good. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, hold on. Let me. Oh, no, stop. Don't give him the reveal. There it is. Okay. All right. Busy, do me a solid. Just leave it right there for a minute, okay? Right there. Just leave it right there for a minute. First things first, whether Marvon McRae has passed away or not, whether he has or not, they don't know. They're not giving you accurate information. From the sources that we have that are very close to Dre, the family, and the people that would know this is all fake news. Does that mean that it's not true? Who knows? That's the danger of fake news. That's the grossness of people that will use these kind of stories in order to make money off of those that are dying, deceased, missing. And that's why you have to understand that we're going to take a trip to where the beginning of this claim happened, where Marvon had passed, where that claim has come from. We're going to tell you exactly where it came from, who started to talk about it first, who the two people are that have admitted outright that they are responsible for this information coming out. And then we'll let you make up your mind on whether you believe that Marvon has passed or whether he's still alive. This is pretty disgusting. Okay? Like, the fact of what they're doing right now in Navy, they're in Arizona, right? Wherever they said they are, of course. I don't care where they really are or anything. I think they said Arizona. Anyway, they're out protesting somewhere right now. And regardless of the disgusting stuff that Molly and Boo Boo, Betty, and all of them that are just out there showing themselves to literally be Satan spawns that are running around screaming at someone's house, "We want justice," even though we haven't got justice for any of the other stories that we wanted justice for. Justice to them equates to money. When they're holding up a sign protesting, it really says, "We want that cash. We need that cheddar cheese." Yes, they want real cheddar cheese so that they can like snorkel it down, but they also want the cheddar cheese that is money. So let's get started really quick and show you the damage that something like LB lying her ever-loving ass off will cause. Because what happens is dingbats around the net believe LB. Because LB hates the same people that they hate. And because they are haters and they are overdosed on the haterade, they blindly believe they're hate lords. And because their hate lords just are talking about a new story, they're going to believe every word that comes out of their mouths about that story, never knowing how to... This is why you can't trust these people. It's why when you see these people that are driven by hate, that are completely biased, that will only tell you something if it makes the people that they hate look bad, or makes them and the people that hate on the people that they hate look good, you have to look at them and laugh at them. You've got to make memes about them and giggle when they pop up somewhere, because it's all they deserve. But let's get into it really quick, because first, before we get going, and Navy is more, let's say, learned on this entire situation than I am. He's actually gotten more of the he's got more of the timeline, the storyline. He's more deep in this, knowing what really happened than I do. But I do have a pretty good take on it factually. So let's start off with what happens when liars and tragedy pimpin' pimp mamas go out and try to make their money. This is the outcome of that. This is the issue with that. So you get somebody who does not have a stankin' rock their itty bitty world. Well, thank you, Wicked. Let's go ahead and do that. So this person who is without a stankin' brain says, according to LB Official, so official, it appears Marvon has passed away. My thoughts are with his family. No, they're not. Your thoughts aren't with this family. You could at least be honest about where your thoughts are. Your thoughts only go one place. Your thoughts are on the KJ. Your thoughts are on the KJ's family, what she ate for breakfast, whether she brushed her hair last night. Your thoughts literally are obsessing over stop lying. And it links to the source of the misinformation, which is the circus tent. This is a circus tent, and then there's this little light thing hung up in the tent. They've got a power cord run to the circus tent, and LB is sitting there. Sad update on Marvon McRae. Sources close to the family say Marvon McRae passed. So, of course, this would lead you to believe that she's not lying because these are sources close to the family. That would be if she's not a bold-faced pathological liar, which she is. We all know this by now. We've proven this. Though, she got her information. If you watch her video, which we're not going to do, we're not trying to show you clowns dancing around trying to get people to fold little $20 bills up like paper airplanes and try to, zoom them into her clown hair. We don't want to watch that, so we're not going to watch her video. But if you do watch your video, you'll see that she is getting her information from a website. Now, the fact is, these are true crime YouTubers. They know more than the popo themselves. They know more than the families, the police, the popo, the authorities, and that's why they are out protesting at the homes of where they think the family that a murderer is. They're there protesting right now, and we've seen them protest many times. Anyway, though, they got their information from a website that they think is NBC, or pretty close to it, or maybe it was CBS. Let me check. NBC. Now, why do they think that this website? No, I'm your number one fan. Thank you, Lauren. Why do they think that this website is NBC? Because the name of the website has NBC in the middle of it. Yes, Justin, Molly, and LB literally have gone on the record to say that this is NBC. So if you just do the most minute of web searches, this isn't anything, you don't have to do anything fancy. You don't got to go out there and actually have some type of background in IT like I do. You don't have to have a background in networking or internet tech or anything like that in order to be able to find out whether you should trust this website or not. Because the internet is this thing where anybody can post whatever they want whenever they want. You can literally pay for a website, which would be like $8 right now, and upload whatever you want to it. Make it say whatever you want. Type whatever you want and put it right on that website. Anybody can do it. You don't even have to have a computer anymore to do it. You can do it with a freaking cell phone or a tablet. You can go get one of those $80 Galaxy tabs from Walmart and upload your own website. Hell, you can do it with a literal flip phone. You don't even need a phone. You don't even need a smartphone to do it anymore. They've got websites that you can access with a flip phone that you can input the stuff into to get it to upload whatever you want. This website, SNBC13. Now, here's the issue. Let's look at what happened with this website June 3rd of 2022. San Jose Police Media Relations had to put this post out. Our department has received inquiries regarding a possible threat to Valley Fair Mall gleaned from social media and other unreliable sources. To be clear, we are not aware of any credible threat to the mall or any type of ongoing threat to the public. They had to post Because from what we can find out, there was people in this community who thought there was a threat, and it was affecting their decisions on what they should do. Now, the police then go a step further and tell people, follow our page for the latest and most reliable San Jose Police Department related news. The source that the people had gotten the information that there could be a threat out there seems to be snbc13.com, which, according to this police department, is a clickbait farm that posts on Facebook. To go a step further than that, if you've watched any of the other coverage today about the subject, you probably already know, but we're going to go ahead and hit you with it anyway, and then we're going to talk about what's going on at the protests right now, along with several other topics. Nate the lawyer filed his lawsuit, and now I'm expecting people like Katie Joy of WOACB to apologize to Nate the lawyer and correct where she called him a fraudster and correct where she said that he was, ripping everybody off, running a fraud raiser and all this. She has corrected herself already, right? Like, as soon as she found out that she had lied to everybody, she went and corrected herself. Oh, she didn't, as of before this stream, she didn't correct herself? Well, that's exactly what Leslie Bass did. Actually, Leslie did something worse, or maybe equal. See, when Leslie was live telling people that this had happened, literally telling people that she got her information from this website, you could imagine what her live chat did. They did take 4.6 seconds and look to see if the website was reliable or not. Again, you don't just have to use the San Jose Police Department to find this out. You can also go and look in the, you can check the credibility of the website. You get those, there are websites out there that you can take a link and put it in that website and see if a website is credible or not. And it'll tell you whether, but on a scale of 0 to 10, what the rating is for that website. This website has a 1.1, I believe it was, on most of those websites. Of course, 1 or 0 being the lowest score, 10 being the highest. So it's like completely not a credible website. But anyway, back to what I was saying. LB had her chat take 4.6 seconds and actually look to see if this was a credible report or not. And they told LB that it wasn't. They said, LB, this is a fake news site. This is not real. And what did LB say? What did she do? Literally read it and kept lying. She saw people telling her that it was fake news and kept lying. Because again, regardless of whether Dre and Marvon, whatever's going on with Marvon, we don't know. Sources close to the family have confirmed to us they don't know. The only one that would know would be Dre. And Dre has not told anyone, according to sources close to the family. The opposite of what LB and Justin and Molly are saying. The opposite. You see, there are no sources close to the family that are saying that they know that he's passed. Okay? Doesn't mean he didn't pass. It doesn't mean that he is alive and well. I don't want to give you any. A lot of you are going to take this and you're going to say to yourself, this is what another part of danger of this kind of fake news, this kind of insanity is. You're going to take this and say to yourself, well, this would mean that he's doing good. This would mean that Marvon is doing better. This would mean that we don't have to worry about Marvon. No, we are not saying that. I am not telling you. I am telling you not to take anything from this. I am telling you to make sure that you don't get your hopes up. You don't get your hopes down. You just literally hold them out. It would probably be smart for me to share that we're live. Give me 1 second. I did it when I scheduled the stream hours ago. I just haven't done it since then. So that's why I got to do it. Okay, we're good. Okay. So like I was showing you, when this website is used as a source, police departments, real news. Now, see, anyone who doesn't secretly dress as a clown on the weekend and try to play a game where she has her friends fold up $20 bills and try to fly them like paper airplanes into her clown hair, anyone who doesn't do this knows that fake news websites will take a thing like CNN, NBC, MSNBC, and try to use those types of letters in coming up with the name of their websites. They will try to fake their website out to make it look like a real source so that you will click their stuff. Because why is it, you'll say to yourself, why would any website literally lie to us about something like this that has to do with a family and someone passing away, especially with someone like Marvon and Dre, who had a lot of followers, a lot of people care about him, a lot of people are going to be affected by this. Why would they lie? This is evil. Why would they do it? Because when you click on websites like this, they make money off of your click. When you click on LB lying about stuff like this, she makes money off of your click. When you go and you click on Molly Golightly, now I've been checking in on I've been busy myself. I've been dealing with the family, a lot of family stuff, even though they'll tell you I don't have one. I've been dealing with a lot of family. I gotta stop laughing at my own jokes. I apologize. I'll stop it. Hey, Stitchin', glad to have you again. Back on track. I'm gonna lose track of what I'm saying here. When you go and take a look at these stories, I just got to get moving because I've completely lost track of all of this. So one thing I could do right now is bore the living hell out of you by doing an actual check on this website. I could show you how you can go a step further to be able to tell whether this website is actually credible or not. But instead now, Navy and myself, and how are you, Navy? Glad to have you. I'm off the rails tonight, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm doing good, Bubba. I'm glad to be here.
I missed everybody. I'm happy to be live. So hit the like button, peeps. What you doing? Hit the like button for me. Come on. So here's what we're going to do, Navy. We're just going to... Oh, here's what I was going to say. I could literally bore everybody by going in and go step by step and show them all this stuff. And I just don't want to bore them like that. I don't feel that it'd be... I feel that if any of you want to go do this, it's very easy to do. I know that Leslie and Molly and Justin have problems in fact-checking, in telling the truth, in not pathologically lying because they are pathological liars. But I know they have this issue, but you yourself having functional brain cells in your head could easily do this if you wanted to. Also, the most important thing I think we should do is actually take you through the journey of fake news and where the information came from. How in the world did the topic of someone close to the family having knowledge that Marvon had passed on, how in the world did that get brought up right now when all of the tragedy pimps are out pimping their protest signs trying to get views and clicks? You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I wasn't going to say this now. I had actually stopped myself and moved on. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. I've been paying a little bit of extra attention when it comes to them down protesting, and I've noticed they're not doing too good. Their views, the virality, the amount of attention they're getting is not that good for them. It's not blowing up. In fact, they are now dealing with something they didn't have to deal with on their last story. And you can verify me on this. You can go look in the live chats. You can look in the comment sections. You can look at the social media response. You'll be able to see one of the most interesting things here is that they're actually getting a pushback. Something that Bullhorn, Betsy, and LB and Molly have never gotten in the past, and Justin, because, of course, they use those tactics that we have shown you with my last video on Unirock 2 and the threats and the doxings and going after people. They use those tactics when someone criticizes them, as you know, so that they can try to dissuade people from feeling as if they can actually criticize. This will allow them to be able to push the narratives they want to push, tell the lies they want to tell without criticism. Criticism, when someone's floating by on the internet and they just stumble upon people acting like these people act, The first thing that goes through their heads, the first thing that goes through your head is not these people are evil and they're out there doing this. The first thing that goes through your head is that, oh my God, this must be a horrible situation, or else these crazy ladies wouldn't be running around stomping their heels and screaming that they are more entitled than everybody else in front of people's homes. So you think they're doing it for an actual good reason when you first stumble upon them, and only until you look at their background and you look at what they have been doing this whole time, how they make their money, how they incite money, how they run fraud raisers, how they dox people, threaten people on the internet due to being keyboard warriors and due to being this fragile and desperate as they are to try to make money, that you realize that they actually are running this misinformation racket. And those people need criticism when they first stumble upon these stories, because it starts their mind to present both sides. You don't ever, like, that's what a tragedy does for these people. A tragedy presented will catch the attention of people that are floating by. The tragedy will make you not think about the fact, because your mind is too occupied with empathy and sorrow and sadness at the family that's experiencing the tragedy. And so your first thought isn't whether these crazy people are lying to you or not. Your first thought, while you may think that in the beginning of every story you go into, not wanting to be conned, ripped off, and lied to on the internet, as easy as it is for people to do this stuff, it's that tragedy that takes your attention away from that question of whether they are lying, whether LB is lying, whether Molly is lying, whether Boot, Scoot, and Betsy is lying, okay? And so that's why they go in and use the tragedy, it's, as you know. And so where did the information come from? Where did it come out of? And then we'll get into kind of going further down the rabbit hole of figuring out just how desperate they are for some cash and some virality and some clicks, okay? And I don't want to start this show tonight without saying this next part. The other thing that LB, Justin, and Molly are doing is using the clickbait that they've created. They're trying to take a story that was viral, as I just said, the Marvon McRae story. They're trying to take a story where they got attention, where they weren't criticized in the beginning, and they're trying to get those people that were paying attention in that story to come over and watch in this new story so they can get some more money out of you, so they can get some more clicks out of you, some more donations out of you. Hopefully they can figure out a way to make a fundraiser or two, okay? And they're failing at doing that. You know what? I don't want to. Okay, fine. They're using it to attack Dre. They're using it to make fun of Dre. Molly, LB, and Justin have started the narrative that Dre is to blame for what happened to her husband. They have started the murmur narrative again. They have started the narrative that Dre was so evil that Marvon did what he did. And of course, this time, the second time they've done this, it's not been accepted that well. You see, in the past and with their last story, they had so many people flooding in, they could just ban people that would call them out and they wouldn't have to worry about it. Everyone's wising up to what's going on here. There are way more people every day that are starting to just be done with these people doing this. And so the response is a little more hefty here. The people that are calling them out, it's a little greater every time they do it. And people are defending Dre more than they are attacking her. Many more people are coming in and actually saying how evil it is for LB and Molly and Justin to be attacking Dre while she's going through this. You know, especially when they just made large amounts of money off Dre's name. It's 11/3 of 2022. I'm your host, Uni Rock, broadcasting from the East Coast of the glorious United States of America. As always, wherever you're from is glorious too, and I'm glad to have you here. I missed you guys. Let's go ahead and roll right into it because I can't be on that long. This is Uni Rock Live. distracted, Navy. Just a little bit distracted here because my bit rate isn't doing that good. Been waiting for it to level out. I keep getting notifications. Let me try to close a few programs down and we'll see if I can get this to give me a little more data. We're fine. We're doing okay. It's just I'd like to have another, let's say, let's actually go down to 5K. I want to be at 9K. I'm at 8K. Let's go down to 5K. It might help it out. Okay. Navy. Before we get started, before we go in, I'm not going to do a long prolonged intro. Intro over. Tell me this. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how evil is what these three are doing? We're just going to be talking about Leslie, Molly, and Justin. How evil is this after everything that's happened, in your opinion? Can't hear you if you're trying to talk, just so you know. I think you might have that thing going on. Technical difficulties and such. Everything worked before the stream, guys, I promise. Just, you might have to reset and jump back in. I'll get your opinion. I'll give you my opinion before Navy gives his. I think this is even more evil than before because they've already experienced being called out. They responded by saying they wanted to sue everybody, if you'll recall, and it didn't work. And people just said, listen, you guys are choosing, you're adults. The criticism you give everybody else literally makes it valid for you to be criticized if you're going to do these kind of things. And instead of you learning from your last mistake, you are tripling down on it. It's, in my opinion, way worse. I don't know. Okay, Navy jumped out, so he'll be jumping back in just a second. So you let us know, Navy and I, how bad do you think it is now that they're doing it again? And the first time you could try to put it up to the fact that they just got exposed. They had just gotten, you know, all the evidence had come out. They had clips they were trying to delete. That for the first time ever, they had people archiving those clips that had platforms to get a lot of attention on what they were doing. They've been reported to YouTube. They're very nervous. They know that progress is being made on them being reported for what they've done. And it's starting to pin them into a corner. And they are getting more and more, you know, let's say vitriolic as time goes on. And would you expect they might try to just keep making their money and stay in a place where they could continue doing this? Or do you think they would keep breaking the rules and pushing this further? Of course, everybody thought they would choose money over the other option. They didn't. They're choosing hate over even their own wallet. But Navy, what do you think when it comes to the scale of evil here? How bad do you think this is?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. No, it is off the charts. Like, this is just, I don't, you know, you think people can't get any lower. And then, you know, how can you even, like, imagine to put a family through this, right? A family who's having to deal with this all the time, and you come out there with this, you know, obviously fake news that's been coming out, and you run with it as if it's the truth, and you start posting all over the place and doing lives and stuff. Even when you can't confirm it, you still run with it as if it's true. It's just evil. It's like a 200 off the scale. Easy.
I agree. And, you know, what I'll do here, because I'm also, guys, I'm trying to connect to another internet network because I'm losing connection to YouTube as we're sitting. I'm getting some buffering and stuff. So it's if you are getting any buffering, just hold on there. This should ride out here really soon, I hope. If not, I'm going to try to restart. Maybe we'll see. Oh, let me actually, I'm going to do something that'll fix things, but let's go ahead and talk for a minute and then we'll roll in and give me 20 seconds to do a couple things. What we're going to start with is what happened. And then we'll look at some clips. We have clips of what Leslie said and others and Molly have said. Of course, we've got timestamps, and most likely I'll be playing some of those. Lately, I've been fed up with these people to the point that I'll only play the most, like, shortest amount of their clip that I have to, and I'll, of course, refer you to go watch it yourself and take it in for yourself, literally just because it's just getting to, just like Navy said, off the charts with how far they're going. We're still in the red. Come on, baby. You can do this. Come on. Come on, stream. You can do this. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, give me some emojis to try to... Hey, babe. I'm just yellow right now, and I'm red from OBS. So, okay, we'll see if Rachel can help me. But while we're seeing if that works, because I know you guys can hear me, I just might be a little blurry, or you might get a little buffer here and there. Actually, we just went green, so that's good news. Let's tell you what's going on, where this all started, where we can track it back to, what the truth really is, and how they've already tried to make excuses to take them as the source of this lie off the table. Now, this after Molly and Leslie both admitted that they are the source of this information. I should say misinformation. Again, while admitting they have no clue whether it's true or not. You can check me on this if you'd like, and you can stay tuned for some clips here soon. They have admitted to everybody they not only put this out, so they are the ones putting out the fact that Marvon is passed, yet at the same time, they're trying to tell people that they don't know whether it's true or not. Then, when they got an enormous pushback to this, what do you think Leslie and Molly did? They started to try to blame Dre. Out of nowhere, they can't even tell you how they know that was Dre. They can't even tell you how they know that this is... Now, of course, they're blaming Dre for lying about this. Dre's the one that's lying about this happening, not us. So, let's go back to the beginning. Navy, correct me if I get this wrong. This all started with... it was Molly Golightly was live, I want to say either yesterday or the day before, right?
I want to say it was, I want to say it was yesterday. She was in Savannah, outside of Quentin's house, Quentin's parents' house. Yeah,
and we're going to try to get into that. We might restart the stream just to try to get a better connection before then. But anyway, so she is live, and Molly essentially starts to tell people that when she's waiting on a call from Wynette, because Wynette, even though Wynette has admitted for months that she doesn't talk to Dre, she has no clue what's going on, that even Letitia hates her guts. You know, this is the thing. Molly and Leslie and Justin, they are so worried about having their friends fold $20 bills into little airplanes and try to float them into their clown hair that they end up forgetting their own narratives. Okay? They forget the things they've said before. How would Wynette know? Well, Wynette's a very disconnected member of the family. No, she's not. She's not a member of Dre's family. She has no connection to Dre. Well, yeah, she does, because Marvon's her husband. Yeah, but they don't talk to Wynette or the husband, which is Marvon's father, or Letitia, which is Marvon's bio father and bio mother. I can't really call him father or mother. I can say bio, but the point is that even by their own admission, these people wouldn't have the information. They would only have the information if Dre had told other members of the family, and then those members of the family had told either them, or a chain of information brought the information to them. So waiting on Wynette to call you literally means nothing. Also, we know how much Molly lies and invents things. So of course, in trying to determine whether you believe that Marvon is passed, you have to understand the first piece of information just literally is Molly wanting some views. Molly wants the people that were watching her show a couple months ago, who in droves have fled her insanity, to come back and be clickbaited in to the new story by mixing the stories together. Fly down to this new story, put yourself, and we're going to talk about where she's protesting, how she's protesting, and whether it makes sense or not in a few minutes. But newsflash, it doesn't. But the point is, put yourself down in front of Quentin's house, even though you're not really in front of Quentin's house, and where you're protesting, you should be protesting somewhere else. And try to mix the two stories together, and maybe you'll get a jump in viewership, donations, attention. It'll push that algorithm over the line, and maybe you'll get, another viral video, right? So the point is, she is the source. Molly is the source. That is until later on when Leslie admitted there was some collusion between the crazy bunch to start this thing. Let me actually pull her channel up here. So after Molly plays this, oh yeah, she's getting horrible views. Horrible views. Horrible amount of attention. I wanted to just check it again because the last time I looked was yesterday. But yes, they are desperate to get you and the other people that have watched their content from a month or 3 ago with the Marvon story, where they had an enormous amount of more people than they have now watching them. They want that audience to be there. So what they're going to do is try to do the most clickbait thing they can do to get your attention. And the most clickbait thing, obviously, that might drive some of the people back that stop paying attention is to hook them in with Marvon passing. Because even if you hate Molly, maybe you'll give her some clicks and some views. Even if you're mad at Leslie right now for all the lies and all of the enabling of doxing and supporting the doxing, supporting all the things that she's called out in the past about Katie and others, mad at them for this stuff, that happening, this big event will pull people back, and they know this, and so they start the rumor. The rumor then travels from Molly to Justin and Molly, and it goes back and forth. And later on, Molly does another stream. In fact, Navy, I'll let you hook it up. So after that, just give us your initial timeline. You know, we'll just move it from there because you're better at this than I am right here.
Yeah. So basically, from what I understand, it started off with Molly was with the others at the protest in front of Quentin's house, right? And during her live out there, they started talking about how she heard that Marvon had passed. Mm-hmm. And so they started kind of spreading around that he had passed. Well, then they leave there, and she goes, I'm assuming, back to the hotel where she does another live stream with Justin talking about him passing again. And then the next day we have like these, I don't know if it's a community post or and things like that of her with like this picture of Marvon and Letitia and all this kind of stuff talking about how it was sad that he passed. And then we get this article that comes out claiming that he also had passed from this completely fake news website. And that leads to, you know, Justin streaming and then also to Leslie Bass streaming. Exactly. And for Julie Radfast, I'm country.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to ask. So yeah, basically by Molly, somebody asked in the chat, how do we know that Molly is lying? How do we know Leslie is lying? They admitted it themselves. So they start off basically saying that they heard this rumor. Then later they claimed that at the hotel, they were waiting on verification, and I believe they used Winnet. Then later than that, an article gets posted to a fake news website that is just basically like easily checkable as straight up misinformation, fake news, absolute, literally tries to disguise itself as a news website so that it can get clicks, take clicks away. You know, it does the same thing Molly does when she covers, and Leslie and Justin when they cover true crime or when they cover one of these stories. They try to take clicks away and pretend as if they're actually covering a story when in reality, they're just running in there causing as much chaos and fake fundraisers and everything else that they can to get clicks and attention and make money. And that's what this website does, but it uses official news sources like CBS, NBC, CNN, and of these websites, there are many of them that do this. This is just one of them, and in that same way, that's what they do. So then Molly then tries to claim, after this article is written and put out, that she got her information from the article. Now, we've gone in to check when the article was posted, and we've gone in to check when Molly did her streams, and we can see and check that and know that Molly most likely is the reason that the article was written in the first place. So that doesn't stack. So you've got Molly essentially, due to low views, due to low attention and low money with this new subject, doing everything in her power to bring her audience back over and clickbait the Marvon subject. When people out there in the clickbait world that use Molly as a source for their clickbait, and hopefully to make clicks and money off of the sizes of the stories that are out there, then put out articles on the subject, they go and Molly then claims, you can't get mad at me and call me a liar. Look, there's an article here. Now, here's the funny thing. LB then comes in and uses the article as a source to say that, you know, what is it? Updates on Marvon McCray. Sources close to the family say Marvon McCray passed. And Lauren says SNBC 13 was rated 1.1 out of 100. Oh my God, I thought it was out of 10.
Yeah.
Out of 100? Oh my God, Lauren. I said it wrong earlier. I thought it was 1 out of 10. It was actually worse than that. It's 1 out of 100. On a rating at 100 being the most reliable and 1 being the least reliable, it got a 1.1 out of 100. So Leslie then uses the website to tell her audience that Marvon had passed. And of course, the people out there who take other lies that Leslie pushes on her channel and run with them, as in when she attacks at other YouTubers like KJ and others. By the way, sometimes sometimes she's honest about Katie, and other times she straight outright lies. And the people that follow her on Twitter start to then give condolences, which creates a chain of misinformation where they're all saying, well, you know, Leslie said it. Obviously, Leslie wouldn't just say this due to a fake news website. She wouldn't just say this and without fact checking it herself. And again, you will say, how do you know that, Uni? Because in her reporting, in the same way she does in every other story she tells, she uptalks herself as someone who checks her sources. She doesn't tell the truth about checking her sources, but she uptalks herself and tries to make it sound like she knows what she's doing. And she did the same thing in this video and tried to say that she, of course, had checked her sources and that the website had claimed it was close to the family, adding in that it's close to the family, adding in that these details, of course, you would think because Leslie hangs out with Molly and others and they sit on streams and talk to members of Marvon's family, even though those people aren't, it allows the assumption to be made in people's minds. And before you know it, you've got her taking claims from the website and then trying to move them into or try to validate them as if they're coming from her. Yes, close to the people, close to the family say Marvon McCray passed. So even if you just go in and skip through her stream, you're going to notice, you're going to walk away from this and say, wow, that's terrible. Now, the other part of this, too, that is really, I'd say, shitty of Leslie and the others involved, people in the live chat, let them know that they were wrong. Let them know that the website that they got their information from was fake news. Let them know that other people had come out and stated that they used their sources, people we know that in the past have had relationships with Dre, people that we know are members of the community that communicated with Dre over long periods of time, people that are close to, at least used to be, Dre, and people close to her had come out to say that this is all a lie. Now they're coming out and saying it's not true. I'm not telling you it's not true. I'm telling you people that have a relationship with Dre before all this happened, and you know, they'll say they're not talking to Dre now, and I believe some of them. Others, I believe they're still talking to Dre, but that's an opinion because I think Dre has to protect herself from people like Molly and LB and the followers of theirs that get all rabid and crazy and go after him and everything. Man, I really am going to have to restart this damn stream. I am still... Oh, yeah, let me show everybody. I don't want them to think I'm bullshitting here. So I'm trying everything I can to get us out of the red. We're at yellow right now. Hold on, let me turn on my display capture. See, what this is showing me here, this little thing in the bottom right of the screen, is that we have a 2,000 megabit connection, 2,000 KB per second. I'm sorry, I said that wrong at first. 2,000 K a second to YouTube. Now, I usually run at 8 or 9. So this being at 3 or 2, and as you see, it's flashing to yellow. It's been flashing to red. What this is going to do is some people are going to have an issue connecting to the stream. Actually, it just went red again. Look. It's going from orange and red and back and forth, which is telling me we're having some issues with our stream connection. I can fix that, but I'd have to take the stream down to do it. Actually, I can try something really quick. Let me try it. come on, man. Let me actually mess with my network settings really quick, y'all. So, okay, like I said, once Leslie got a hold of it, the worst part is the thing I was about to go tell you about, of course, is that Leslie and Molly both were told that they were wrong while they were doing this. And Molly had more people in her chat, and her chat was moving a little faster and stuff. So you could let Molly get away with it. Leslie, on the other hand, literally was reading her chat while people were telling her that she's wrong and why she's wrong, and she didn't care. So, of course, this started to get people talking about what they thought was going on. Many people are thinking that they're all in on this lie. Whether or not you believe that, it's up to you. We'll go into that also here in just a second. The stream is okay so far, says Lauren. Yeah, I mean, it might be for you. It might be for some other people. It might not be, but we're going to let it run for a bit and see. And as long as, you know, if it comes out, if we come out of it, we'll stay streaming. If we do go down, I'll only go down long enough to reset all my routers and everything and make sure that we're connected a little better, restart my PC. So we'll figure it out. So the next place to go, though, we just want to make sure that before we move on to start to cover what they're doing down in Georgia, or where are they at? I think they're in Georgia. Before we get there, I want to make sure that all of you have every bit of information and you can make your own mind up on whether you believe Marvon, the information about whether Marvon is passed or not, is reliable. I would go as far as to say that it's not. What do you think, Navy, while I pull up some clips? What is your opinion on how reliable Molly and Leslie's information is? What's your take?
Oh, I think it's horrible. I think they ran with it because they wanted to be first, and they wanted to get, you know, the clicks and the views and all this kind of stuff coming off of, like, you know, hitting, you know, being the first to report it. And they didn't do any fact checking. They didn't check anything out to make sure it was true. They just ran with it because they wanted the attention. And I mean, this is like probably the easiest thing to fact check ever.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start to give you a little bit of what they've done to get attention themselves off of the lie that they themselves started, pushed, used each other to try to validate and get people to believe, and ran with. So they put, "Rest in peace, our friend Marvon McCray." This is what Molly put. Molly, knowing that Marvon is not her friend, wouldn't be her friend, wouldn't like her, would most likely hate her guts. We've shown you video clip after video clip after video clip. We've gone through long streams and bored some of you because, of course, some of you were not as interested as you could be in this story. And we've had you watch the countless amount of video evidence to show the state of the family leading up to Marvon's incident. And to our kind of amazement at the amount of lies that these YouTubers have said about this story, the only thing you can conclude off of the video that's there, and it's a lot of live streams, hours and hours and hours where they're covering multiple meals they make in a single day, every day being live, whether a lot of it wasn't public. Now, they did have a few public streams, like over a period of a week, they might have a couple days that they're not streaming, maybe 3 days out of 5, out of a week, 7 days, there might be 3 they're not streaming mixed in the middle. The problem is they would still be live for their members on those streams. And so while there are some gaps in the streaming history, what we see for very long periods of time is Marvon, Dre, and the children happy, in a good mood, talking to each other, interacting with each other, hugging and kissing. Marvon and Dre are sitting there flirting and saying, sexy things to each other, without being too grotesque in front of the kids or anything, loving each other. All of this leading up to literally right when everything happened. A pretty, what you would say is a healthy family environment. So being able to look and ask yourself the same information that Molly and LB and Justin had to go with themselves. We even looked at more of the information than they did. We fact-checked more of it. They would play very select clips that were highly edited and clipped up. We've shown you they would take clips from live streams where they're all in a good mood. They're eating huge amounts of food. They're in love. They're kissing. They're hugging. They would clip out all of the positive interactions. They would clip out every little thing they could and only leave where the kids wanted more donuts. And of course, Dre wanting everyone to have an equal amount of donuts. And they weren't donuts, Navy. What was the food? What was it? It was a Mexican dish, but
was it?
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Oh, it was churros.
Yeah, churros and the cinnamon kind of like donutty kind of treat. And of course, a parent needs to tell the kid no. And so they would go in and clip these tiny little incidents out of these long streams and present the false narrative that they were starving the kids, that Dre was being mean to the kids. And they would have hours of loving interactions with the tiniest, shortest little minute of them saying no to the kid. And they would take that alone, and then they would clip all the good stuff out until they had another little clip, and then click all the good stuff out in another little clip to form the narrative that they're pushing. We had busted them on this. They actually got a pretty good pushback from the fact that they fake newsed all of the internet in the beginning of this story to build a narrative, a fake news narrative, that this had happened with Dre and her family. And it's provable. You don't need me to fact check this yourself. We told you where all the videos were, how you could find every one of the videos. You could check them at their source. You could go in and look at edited down versions of them so that you didn't have to go and sift through hours of streaming. Then, you know, every bit of resource we could give you, we told you exactly where you could find it so that you knew who was telling the truth and who's lying. Look at it for yourself, make up your own mind, and you're going to see that all this video is there. It's of them. It shows that they aren't what Molly, Justin, and LB have created the fake news narrative to put in front of you. And of course, they now are friends with Dre and Marvon, because remember, and they just did this. In order for them to be able to create the fake narrative, they also had to create the narrative that Dre and Marvon hated each other, and that they didn't agree with their diet, that she was sneaking drugs to Marvon, that Marvon wasn't an adult, that was choosing to partake in the same way that Dre was, which he was with the diet, he was with the drugs, he was with their whole lifestyle, and instead created a narrative that Dre was poisoning him, starving the kids, and all this crazy stuff. You almost have to wonder how demonic you have to be to try to set up a family like this in the first place, let alone when they're going through a crazy tragedy. The problem is I'm stalling a bit. I'm stalling because some of the video that I'm about to show you, just like you'd think, has Molly not only using these same tragedies, but trying to attack and blame Dre throughout the whole thing. So she's down there, you know, she's pissed because she's not getting the response that she wants from her fake grandstanding, from her fake protesting, and she's not getting the views or the money she wants out of it. And now she's mad at Dre because she's not fooling everyone on her next story. But let's take a look at some of this. We've got video. I want to pull it out so that Navy can see it here. And we'll go up to 43 minutes, 43:21. We'll go ahead and get started after I share my screen with Navy. Yeah, if my mods can, let me know how the video looks. It looks like we're getting a little better connection. It's just still not the best. Still not the best. Booty Shot says, I watched this bullshit for 2 days solid. Don't come at me like you want to play, because trust me, I'll play back. I don't know who you're talking to, Booty Shots. I don't know who you're talking to. All right. Here we go. Take a listen.
We're on the phone right now with Wynette to see if anything has happened to Marvon.
Justin, like you really care. Why haven't you done what I've done? I've presented your story, and I've presented what we found as what is the truth. I've given everybody both. Why can't you show people what the video shows? Why can't you show them the truth about Marvon and Dre, the family? Why can't you show them the truth about the video clips you played? You know, you guys are the ones lying. You act like everybody else is the liar, right? Same thing LB does. You want to say everybody else is lying on you guys. That you guys are the victims, and everybody in the world other than your audience, your small little audience that's following you on this, in this just disgusting mess you've made with this next story, everybody's against you. It can't be that everybody is fact-checking you guys now that we know where all the video came from, now that everyone has the same resources, which is the literal source of the video, Dre's Facebook, the other places that have clipped it and taken the full streams and the clips and put it out. And we can look and see what really happened and see that you lied. Why is it that even if you believe that Dre was starving the kids and poisoning Marvon and setting him up with a murmur plot, which is what you believe, you've said it a million times, you're still pushing this shit yesterday. If you believe that, why are you so scared of the evidence? Why are you so scared of what we've shown everybody? Because what we show everybody is what's changing everybody's minds. What we show everybody is the truth. We're showing them the source material that you guys cooked your narrative up from. Just tell people what's there and see. Here's how I would do it, Justin. I would say, guys, I know that for months, Molly and LB and myself have presented to all of you that Dre poisoned and murmured and hated the kids and hated Marvon and created this horrible home life. But you must know that there is literally non-stop live streams from their home that show that they were all a happy family and in love, getting along. And don't say that they didn't broadcast their fights, because by your own admission they did. Don't say they didn't broadcast the kids mouthing off or not doing what they're supposed to and being disciplined, because by your own clips and admission, they broadcasted the good and the bad. The problem is you guys lied about the amount of good video that was there. You guys lied. If you want to make the argument that even though all of this video exists, we are still right about the murmur plot, and we're still right about the starvation, and we're still right about all this other stuff, make the argument. Why aren't you comfortable enough in your argument to actually account for what's there? Because we will tell you where to find everything. We have. You can go and watch our previous live streams and see where this all came from for yourself. Watch it. Spend 5 days and take in an entire week's worth of live streams from them, and you can see that you guys lied to everyone. So why can't you tell us how you are right? How you guys are friends with Marvon? He literally is saying he wants his kids to be with Dre. He's telling the entire world that he loved Dre, that he wants him and that family to be together forever, that she's a great mother, she's a great wife. He said this all the way up until the end. There was not a single thing, not a single clue, not a single piece of information, unless you take video clips and edit them into lies, which you guys did. Why are you so scared of the truth, man? And you think that no one knows. Look at the amount of people that have started to find out the truth about y'all. So someone super chatted, thank you for being there for Quentin. God bless you all. This right here is going to be one of the same people who, after your little Quentin thing blows up in your face, because it will. These are going to be the same people that are going to be watching the videos that we all make showing what you guys have really done with the Quentin story. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, use Facebook and you use these other social media networks and you pull as many people in as you can and you try to dupe them and you try to lie to them and present them all this bullshit. Because if you don't do that, if you don't cook up a narrative, if you don't cook up a lie, then you have to compete with every other YouTuber, every other news source, every other agency that's out there reporting the real story. The way that you guys kind of like gain your special content that only you can give to your audience is by you guys lying about the stories you cover, cooking up an unbelievable, insane narrative, and then using the methods that we've described and proven in order to create the story.
There is supposedly someone from...
You notice how it's always supposedly? You know, Navy? It's always a supposedly.
Yeah, exactly. If someone told me supposedly this happened, I heard this happen, secret sources, pick one, right?
Family, super family, secret. Why can't you just tell us who the source is, who said it, who is saying that Marvon passed, who is saying he didn't pass? Like, who is saying what? Tell us who. And then if that person, we're going to check with Wynette. Okay, if Wynette tells you that it's not true or that she doesn't know, are you going to go tell everybody that you guys lied? Or are you going to go tell everybody that what? It was a rumor and you guys shouldn't have taken it seriously or what? Because it's like, you notice that through the words he's choosing to use already, he's leaving gaps open. No, why? Why would you do that if you had a family, a member of the family that's close and that would know whether he passed or not? It's just, you can tell already they don't. The point is, whether Marvon is alive or whether he's passed, the people out there that actually know the family, that know Dre, and that have access to, the truth, are saying that it's not true. So we've got LB, and we've got Justin, and we got Molly. They're all saying that he's passed away, even though they're not. They're saying he might have. Everywhere you hear, you're going to hear them say maybe. Now, that doesn't explain why she posts this. See, when they go on their streams and they're going to act iffy, but then they're going to go around and post this kind of stuff. If they can post this, fly high, Marvon, you are so loved. And it's got a picture of her with Marvon. Now, who's this? Why is this here? Because that's not Marvon. And then you've got rest in peace, our friend Marvon McCray. And this is posted from her. And so some of you look at this and you'll say, yep, she's saying that Marvon died. What is she going to say if Dre was to come out and make a Facebook post and say Marvon has not passed away? They are lying. What are they going to say? At least you can pronounce supposedly. They say supposedly. It annoys me to no end. That is all. No way. That's funny. But as you can see in this picture,
they're saying it's Wynette. She's standing with Wynette. That's the woman in the picture.
This is Wynette?
Yeah. That's what the chat's saying.
I saw a picture of Wynette and she didn't look like this, but why did she put a picture of her and Wynette right here then? What is this? To show that she's standing with a member of the family so she knows or something?
Yeah, she has this connection. Yep.
Molly should not even be allowed to hold a picture of the American flag. She shouldn't even be allowed to hold a picture of it. Anyway, now what's going to happen if Dre herself, let me get back on track. If Dre comes out and says Marvon is still alive, let's say that's all she posts on Facebook, on her official account. Marvon is alive. Okay. Now, if you go and you wind up on Molly's panel, and you look over and you say to Molly, I can't believe you are telling people that Marvon died. Literally lying to everybody, fake newsing everybody out. You didn't. The point is they don't know. What I'm going to try to be able to show you, for those of you that are going to claim that Molly and Justin and LB didn't say this, or that maybe that they said that he might be dead, I'm going to show you exactly what they said. Because yes, every time they said it, they said maybe. They said probably. They said supposedly, right? Supposedly. But my point is, if you were on a panel with Molly and you say to her, but you put out on Facebook a post and said that Marvon passed away, she's going to call you a liar. She's going to say, you're lying. I didn't say he passed away. I told him to fly high. That doesn't mean he passed away. That's why they use this kind of language. Now, this one is going to be a little harder. Rest in peace, Marvon McCray. Right? And you notice how she puts him right here in front of the cross, right? And it's kind of fitting because Molly and LB and Justin did sacrifice him. But you didn't sacrifice him to God or to Jesus or something. You sacrificed him on the altar of money and clicks And that's why everyone has an issue with you. Okay? But anyway, I want you to listen closely. And I want you to hear actually what they say and how they present this. Because remember, don't say that Molly didn't post that he's passed. Yes, she did. She's just spreading the posts out. She will delete them if she has to later, if it comes to that. And then she will start how she's literally being lied about and attacked by those evil uni rockers and those nonsense people and those rabbit hole people and all that garbage.
Dre's camp, I think, that's saying that
Notice how he says, and I'm not going to be able to play this without interrupting him every second. Dre's camp put this out. So I just want to be able to put out my own claim, Justin. We have been in contact with Dre's camp. They did not put this out. They have not put this out, according to them. And again, I'm not saying that Marvon didn't pass, and I'm not saying that he did or didn't. I'm saying they know less than what anyone else does, yet they're trying to present a fake scenario here. Why is he saying that Dre's can't put this out, Navy? To me, that's a red flag of how much they're lying.
Yeah, 100%, because everything I've heard, there hasn't been anything put out by like her Facebook group or anything else. There has been nothing put out by her or anyone else that would have the knowledge of his actual status.
Well, and my response initially was, why would Dre not tell her Facebook audience if he passed? You know she would, right? If she wanted to have a private ceremony, she could. If she wanted to, I do consider the scenario that she might want to mourn for a week, 2 weeks, something with the kids before coming out publicly. I could understand that. I do understand that she might want to have a private ceremony due to the harassment from LB, Leslie Bass, Molly, Justin. They are harassing Dre. They are sending followers to harass Dre and attack her. And literally, what do you say? What do you say? You know why people say that you shouldn't be spreading around this kind of stuff when a family goes through this kind of thing? What if a member of Dre's family clicks on YouTube and sees, or Facebook and sees your post? They're going to break down and